authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
As soon as I unmuted us, I started hearing buzzing in the background. I'm like, oh no, not the static issue again. What's up, y'all? It's another episode of Bitches Love Sports. I'm your host, Jazz Monet, and we have got K-Lew of Dope Content in the building with us once again because there have been some major moves made on the Dallas Wings roster that I know he wants to talk about and I know y'all want to hear about. Because one thing I can say about Dallas sports fans, whether you're a Wings fan, Cowboys fan, y'all here for the X's and O's, but y'all are here for the mess too. Y'all will break down and analyze some mess like it's game film. Like legit. So we're going to give you all of it today. We're going to talk about the Wings roster moves. We're going to talk about what it means. We're going to talk about some of the rumors behind the scenes. Maybe nothing too deep, but I some of it, well, I don't know. Kev is looking like I can't tell if that was a no, I want to get into it face or I don't want to get in trouble again face.
We'll see. I got in trouble last time, so.
Well, we'll definitely tell y'all that story in the second segment of how the clip y'all loved on TikTok almost got Kev in trouble. But we're gonna start off with some Cowboys stuff. Now, the Cowboys have a joint practice today with the Rams, and it's hard for me to determine which one people are more interested in because, like, as much as people say, oh, I love football, I want to talk about the game, when it comes to all this stuff going on with Micah Parsons, everybody is eating up the content. And maybe that's because there's new developments every day. So I'm going to say this before we even hop into either storyline. When it comes to the practice today, here's what I thought was really interesting by Brian Schottenheimer. He came out and said what a lot of people in the past, I think, have speculated. He came out and said, hey, you're not going to see a lot in the preseason. When it comes to this joint practice, any kind of scrimmaging, any kind of practicing, what we're still doing, we're still evaluating. And I feel like in the past, Cowboys coaches have made like a big attempt to make it seem like they just had it all together by this point, with it being that there's a preseason game coming up this Saturday. Like, do you feel like that's a different vibe from Schottenheimer?
Oh, most definitely. It's definitely a different vibe, and I love it. And I wasn't big on him at all. When he got hired, I was like, what the hell are we doing? Like,
really?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. But he's definitely won me over with the way he's talking and navigating. You fight at practice, go run. Like, the way he's talking to the media, I know he got in trouble, or he got in some hot water, a couple days ago, from the quote that you told me at the game.
Did he get in trouble for that? For the shove it up your ass?
Kind of. I don't know. I saw some sensitive people, but
First of all, hold on. We're gonna talk about that quote, right? Because here's my thing about it. Shotty has never had like the most clean language. Because as a matter of fact, we'll back it up even more. Here's what I've always liked about the Schottenheimer hire. Even when it first happened, and yes, it was.
You liked it from day one.
I liked it from day one. I liked the Schottenheimer hire, and here was my thing about it. When it came to the issue with it, I did not have an issue with Schottenheimer being hired. I had an issue with the way that they botched the coaching search in the first place. I had an issue with the fact that McCarthy was brought in as a lame duck coach on that last year, that he didn't have, like, that the players and the team did not know if he was going to be the coach moving forward. I feel like for a team in the position the Cowboys were in, that was just a bad move in the first place. Then you fast forward, somehow you go through a whole entire season with a head coach that you know is on the last year of his contract, and y'all aren't on the same page about what's supposed to happen next in terms of a contract. And then you have all these people that you're interviewing who, for whatever reason, they don't pan out, whether they don't want to come to the Cowboys or they're just not a good fit. I don't know what happened during those interviews, but it felt like Schottenheimer ended up being a last resort. And did you watch The Cosby Show growing up?
I did.
You remember that episode where Denise came home randomly and it turned out that she was having problems with her fiance, and then she was like, well, like, once they smoothed it out, she was like, well, we're good now, why don't y'all like him, you know? And Dr. Huxtable, he sat her down and he was like, okay, imagine I sit you down with a filet mignon dinner. It's got all the trimmings. You got your potatoes au gratin. You got your broccolini with the lemon garlic. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he described a delicious surf and turf meal. And he was like, and I take that meal and I put it, and I go and get the garbage can. And I take the lid of the garbage can. I put the meal on top of the lid of that garbage can. Like, do you still want it? I feel like that's what the Cowboys did to Shotty. Because Shotty is probably as perfect of a hire for the Dallas Cowboys as you can get. One, he's a football savant. He called himself that, right? So he's somebody who knows the game. In the past, look at the coaches that the Cowboys have hired. Has there ever been anybody who came in that you like, we know that one knows the game? There's no doubt, like, they come from a good lineage. Like, who have they ever hired that's been like a young, innovative coach or just somebody people are excited about? Nobody. They hired people who they like, who people think will be good enough. He's the first person who, like, okay, because of who his dad is, because of what we've seen in the past, some people are like, okay, we know kind of what he's working with. We know he knows his stuff, right? He came to the Cowboys initially several years ago as a consultant. So even before he put on the OC hat, he knew what the Cowboys were about. He had time to decide that he want to be a part of what people are calling a circus. And he's had the opportunity to see it from the inside, right? So then fast forward him being an OC. And I remember the year that he became OC was my first year going to training camp in Oxnard. And there was a fan standing next to me, and they were literally like, oh, the last OC didn't bring this kind of energy. So I'm already hearing from fans like, oh, he coaches different. He talks to the players different. He brings a different kind of energy. Got to sit in some press conferences where he was being questioned, listening to how he talks about ball. Loved every second of it. So when they hired him as a coach, I knew fans weren't going to like it, but I loved it. Okay, so now fast forward to this quote. Oh, did you have a question?
So compare him with Dan Quinn. What's different?
What's different between him and Dan Quinn? I think Shotty has the confidence and the knowledge to be able to stand on what he believes in and how he wants to run. I do think that and this is based on what I heard, I do think that there were some instances where Dan Quinn folded, and that ended up impacting the defense, and it ended up impacting the team. I think Shotty is the kind of communicator and has the kind of mind to where, once he decides something, he knows the reasoning behind it. It ain't no maybe, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. It ain't no, well, we could do it. It's like, no, this is, if you want us to win, this is what we need to do. And if we don't do this, well, then you're sabotaging our odds of winning, period. And I think he also is the type of person who can communicate that. And he can communicate that in business language. And he can also get down and dirty, like we heard in the press conference.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate. So when the offense was struggling, was that more McCarthy or Shotty?
Okay, if you read between the lines of some of the things that Shotty has said, it has a lot to do with how their roles were handled in relationship to one another. Coach Schottenheimer had a press conference recently where he talked about just being able to communicate the struggles of being an OC and how much better he felt now that he's in a position to call plays. He was literally talking about how the timing is different and how there's not like this whole thing of negotiation between who's calling the plays and what he thinks should be best. He was talking about how everything's going to flow better because of that difference. So I do think there were some things going on behind the scenes, and I talked about this in my last live, where I think Mike McCarthy didn't make the best decisions in terms of preparation, because he always erred on the side of keeping the players safe. And there is such a thing as too safe. There is such a thing as pulling back so much that the players never get the conditioning and experience and reps that they need in order to prepare themselves for NFL level football. And it really didn't even do that much in terms of preventing injury either. So it was just bad all around, And that's probably like my biggest concern with Mike McCarthy. My biggest issue with him was that he looked so much at like the GPS numbers and he was ruled by them. Yeah. And it caused him to make some bad decisions.
And he lied on his application, by the way. But, I won't go there. I've already ranted on that before. So
a lot of people have. But let's fast forward to this quote, because I have a serious take on it and then I have kind of a playful take. So my serious take on it is like, this is who Shotty has always been. He's not the first coach to use profanity in a press conference. Jerry Jones gave everybody the finger. Are we serious? Are we serious? And my playful take on it is this. And I almost made a video about this, but now you can help me with this content, K-Lew, because I want your opinion. I feel like when he said the best thing you can do is shove it up their ass, he was talking about having an aggressive run game, a physical run game. Now, traditionally, the phrase that people use that nobody had a problem with, maybe because it doesn't use the word ass, is we gonna shove it down their throat. We gonna run it down their throat. So, like, are we saying that, like, it's better to run it down their throat than shove it up their ass? Like, which one? Or is shoving it up their ass, like, referring to a more, shall we say, dominant offense? Like,
I mean, it's 2025.
Which do you prefer? Down the throat or up the ass? Like,
I'm gonna stay out of that one, but it's 2025. Let's just say all of it is happening in 2025.
I mean, I always assume the phrase "ram it down their throat" was because it's like, well, the defense is facing you. Yeah. But I guess if our offense is gonna be so dominant that he's like, nah, in Dallas we don't say we running it down their throat. We gonna shove it up their ass. Hey, do it all day, Shotty.
I have no problem as long as you produce on the field. That's all I'm asking. However you want to say it.
Wherever you want to shove it, run it. Get the dub. Yeah. I'm here for it. Yeah. Okay, so this practice today, he already said that he anticipates that they'll be doing evaluation. He says we're not going to see a lot during the preseason. And so I definitely appreciate that transparency. So, but with that being the case, like the fans, that doesn't change, like I said at the beginning, how Dallas fans are. They are going to be looking for something. And so this is probably, even for the people who have not been paying attention to training camp, this is going to be one of those days where people are looking for something. What do you think Dallas fans are going to want to see that will make them feel good? Like, if they don't already feel good about Coach Schottenheimer as a hire, what do you think they're going to want to see that will make them feel good after this joint practice takes place?
As a fan, I would like to see the playmaking ability, both sides. Let's see if you can make plays no matter who you are on the field. Let's see if the coach can put you in the right position for that. Effort. How confused are they? This is a new system, first game. How lost are they? Like, is it going to take preseason or is it going to take 5 weeks into the season for you guys to catch on to what's being, said, and just health? Really, like, I'm looking to see what the DBs do. That's the main thing I'm looking at. Running backs, DBs. Everybody else, I'm not really worried about. Because, I mean, you have the injuries, and then you have, Diggs and his whatever y'all want to call it with Diggs. I don't know if you want to call it drama. I don't know what you want to call it with Diggs. Micah, we know what's going on with Micah, which I'm sure you're going to bring up. But the rookie from, East Carolina? I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now.
Ricky?
The rookie DB they just brought in. He was injured, but he's a beast when he's playing.
Okay.
My mind just went blank. I'm sorry, y'all. My mind just went blank. But he's not going to be able to play because he looks like he can barely run still. Don't force him back. It look like they're trying to, rush him, speed him up. Don't do that. But I want to see what the rest of these DBs are going to look like. I want to see what the safety is going to look like. I want to see what the running back, Blue, and all them are going to look like. So, other than that, it's the first preseason game. Don't expect much, fans.
Agreed. I feel like this is one of the first seasons in a long time where safety depth is not as much of a concern. Like, I feel better about that than I do about some other positions. I definitely feel better about it than I've felt in the past. I'm looking at some of the comments here about what these guys want to see. Let's see. We've got Clement saying, looking forward to seeing how multiple Shotty's offense will be with Clayton Adams as OC, and it looks like we will be multiple in Eberflus's defense, 3-4-4-3-5 front, stand-up DEs on DTs, spots, etc. No, I definitely think we're going to see that at some point, but when Shotty says we're not going to see a lot in preseason, I think some of that I think they're going to keep a lot of stuff plain and vanilla to evaluate more what individuals are capable of, and some of the stuff that we've
that's what they've been doing, though.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that we've seen practice, some of the stuff they've talked about in press conferences, I don't think we're going to see as much today or Saturday.
Maybe the last game you might.
Clement and JV said you're referring to Siobhan Revel out of East Carolina.
Yes, thank you. My mind went completely
blank. Had you said
blank.
Siobhan, I probably could have completed with Revel, but East Carolina, I'm just like, my brain is like, what?
Yeah, my mind it's been a long day. Y'all been up since 5 a.m., so I apologize.
Relatable. What's good, CJ? Good to see you in the chat. He said, can't wait to see tape tomorrow on our guards and 54633 text. So it looks like you're looking for some of the more like skilled players on offense and DBs on defense. I'm definitely with the people who want to see what's going to happen in the trenches, and mainly because of the fact that Shotty has been talking a lot about the importance of the trenches to how he's going to manage this team.
You know who I want to see, since you're speaking of the trenches? Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith needs to shut me up this year, because I haven't been a fan.
Shut a lot of people up.
I haven't been a fan of Mozzie. When they drafted him, I had to delete that video too because I was pissed when they drafted him because I didn't like it at all. So he got to shut me up this year.
I liked him when they drafted him. He has been on a roller coaster of performance and presentation ever since then. And the only reason why I don't take it out on him is because I know how little these guys know about their bodies. You start talking to, just athletes in general about their bodies and what they need to do in order to perform at the highest level, and you kind of realize how clueless they are and how much they rely on experts. So when it comes to the weight loss and then gain and then loss and how that's impacted him, because like when you lose and gain weight, like yes, that'll affect your performance, it can also affect how prone you are to injury. And so that's why I haven't been as inclined to feel a way about him. And it's more so I'm just like, okay, I just want to see him find some consistency, because he has shown flashes of him still being able to be good, but he hasn't always been used in ways that seem to play to his strengths. And the whole thing going on with his weight, I don't know what the plan is or was, but it definitely hasn't done him any favors. So it's like, while I agree with you, I'm not going to say I didn't like the pick. And I'm not going to say I don't like Mozzie as a player. I'm going to say I don't like how his career has gone. And I do think this is definitely the season where he's got to show up and prove that he is who a lot of people thought he was going to be when he was drafted.
This is what pissed me off about Mozzie and Cowboys fans and even some creators. Mozzie did a interview his rookie year, one of his first interviews. He said, I just like to hit people. Cowboys fans and some content creators was like, oh my gosh, we got a dog. Mozzie like to do this. He said he like to hit people. So effing what? I don't know if we can cuss on here.
We can.
So what? Like, everybody that plays football like to hit people.
Yeah.
And everybody was trying to hype him up. They was making videos and stop. I didn't like it from jump. I already knew it wasn't gonna work. I don't care what you say, gain weight, lose weight, whatever. He's not him. In my opinion, he's not at the position he was taken. He's not that. He could be drafted. He was a 5th, 6th rounder to me.
Okay.
Not where he got taken. So that's all I'm saying.
And Clement says Mozzie hasn't looked good in some of the practices. I haven't been able to watch as much video of the practices as I'd like, but I've kind of heard that. Let's just say you're not alone in people who want Mozzie to prove himself. The other thing that I'm looking at is just what does the cohesiveness look like? Because when it comes to just the recent drama and how it has affected the locker room, there are some people who are like, oh, players shouldn't be affected. In a perfect world, things like contract drama between a star player and an owner, in a perfect world, wouldn't affect the players. Because players all say the right thing. Even the coaches say the right thing. Oh, we're focused on improving. We are focused on, what we need to do in order to be the best team we can be this season. But when you have players who go on social media and comment on the situation, it's a distraction, especially ones that don't even talk that much about what's going on in the locker room, like one Mr. Oso Odigizua. And I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I love Oso to death, and he can say whatever he wants. But when he goes out of his way to comment on something, that means it's become a distraction. Yeah. When you see players changing their profile pictures, that means it's become a distraction. When you see CD making comments when he don't even like talking about stuff like that, it's become a distraction.
And he don't talk much on social media like that anyway.
No, he does not. Yeah. Now, how much of a distraction? It depends. We don't know. But it definitely has been a distraction, and that's one of the biggest things I take issue with. We just had this situation happen last year with CD. CD literally has made a mini doc on YouTube talking about how much he was impacted by missing training camp. And now this is happening again with another one of his star players, another one of the star players for the Cowboys. But it's brought up an interesting theory for me. And I think Jerry Jones has ADHD. I'm serious. When you think about some of the ADHD symptoms, forgetting names, impulsivity, not being able to focus on a particular topic, not being able to sit down, because if you think about it,
he's old.
No. But it's always been this way. When you think about it, who has ever talked about Jerry Jones talking to an agent or an attorney or looking over paperwork? Everything he has ever brought to the table, or every conversation you hear about him making a proposal, whether it's suggesting that the NFL as an organization do something or suggesting that the Cowboys do something different, it's always, oh, we were at this event and we wrote this down on a napkin. Oh, he called me and we talked about such and such. I think part of Stephen Jones' attitude is coming from having to clean up the mess of his impulsive father who can't seem to sit down and just do things the right way.
Listen, everybody's talking about Jerry and Stephen. I think it's gonna be worse when Steven take over. I'm just throwing that out there.
I think some things will be worse. I don't think some of the changes people want to see with the Cowboys are gonna improve under Steven, but I do think that some of this drama will go out the window because Stephen Jones just does not seem like the type to okay, let me call a player and negotiate with them without their agent present and then hang up the phone and tell somebody else. It's no, Steven, that part of the business is going to be handled by the book.
You know what's going to happen? He's going to say, you're too much, bye. He's not going to pay nobody. So that's why it's not going to be drama, but he ain't going to pay nobody. I can tell you that now.
He won't pay them like they're being paid now.
And by the time he takes over, the salary cap is going to be way up here. He's still going to be down here.
Now, I think what will happen is he's going to get those deals done earlier. So the Cowboys will be less likely to have these record-setting deals. But I think when it comes to he'll pay who deserves to be paid, I think. But it won't be happening right before the season starts. Record-setting deals, it'll be long before they've proven they've earned the record-setting deals, and then there won't be as many opportunities for reconstruction and things like that. That's what I foresee.
Nah, I don't trust him at all. He's cheap as hell. The way he talks, I just don't like it. I'm sorry. I'd rather deal... You know what? I don't like either one of them. But I'd rather deal with Jerry because I know at the end of the day, all this drama, Jerry's going to pay the player. Okay. It's just... Steven, I don't believe Steven's going to pay. He traded Amari Cooper for a dishwasher. I'm sorry. I don't trust him.
Not a dishwasher.
Yeah.
All right.
And a can of Sprite.
Well, we'll see how all that goes. We've got the joint practice with the Rams today. We've got the preseason game. Is the preseason game also against the Rams?
I believe so, yes.
So we've got a joint practice.
I'll double check, but I believe so. It's normally joint practice than preseason versus the same team.
Right. It is also against the Rams.
Yeah.
Yo, when I say I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off,
Yeah.
like, no lie. So we've got a joint practice with the Rams today. We've got a preseason game with the Rams against the Rams on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the practices and sound bites that are happening in between, probably coming out right now as we speak. So do you have any additional thoughts on the Micah Parsons conversation?
It's stupid. Like, it's annoying, and this is the reason why on my platform, January of 2024, I said I'm not putting no more energy into doing podcasts. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I've been at peace. Even last year with them being trash, I was at peace because I stopped putting my energy into this team. Don't talk to me again until January when the playoffs start. They can go undefeated. I don't care. They can sign whoever. They can re-sign whoever. I don't care. Let me know when the playoffs start. Then we can talk. Until then, I'm not wasting no more energy. After they lost to the Packers, the way they did, I was done.
Feel you. Well, before we end up going into this break, I do want to give everybody a preview of what we're going to be talking about in the second half of today's show, which is what the hell is going on with the Dallas Wings?
I'm sick of Dallas altogether.
You're sick of Dallas sports.
It's ridiculous.
No, it does kind of feel like NBA, WNBA, NFL, the decision making has just been questionable, because between losing Luka and whatever is going on with the Cowboys, and then these trades that just happened with the Wings, or I should say these moves, because one of them wasn't even a trade. Tierra McCowan just got waived. Didn't get a thing for her after she was on what's considered a pretty high dollar amount for the WNBA in terms of contract amounts. So just real quick, because we have about 2 minutes before we go into the break, but were you surprised by the Dejanay Carrington trade, and do you think it was a smart move for the Wings?
No, because anybody that gives... I wasn't surprised. That's my answer. No, because anybody that challenges the coach or make him feel uncomfortable, they're gone.
Is that not most of the team, though?
No, some of them are super nice. I'm talking about the ones that would talk back. Like,
Okay.
yeah, the ones that would challenge him. And to me, it was stupid because the reason you brought Dejanay and others that you brought in is because your star player wanted them first, and then you needed defensive help. So we'll get into all that because I'm trying to be good today, but I'm trying to be good today, but I'm not surprised at all. You can see it right on the wall, and then the pre-interview he did before Friday's game when we asked him about it, and he was just like, "It is what it is," and he kind of had this smirk on his face. I'm like, okay, something ain't right.
I missed that pre-interview.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you tell me about it, because I wasn't surprised about it because of the rumors that were coming out, but I don't think it was smart. It doesn't, to me, I'm not seeing what direction the Wings are trying to go in terms of building a team.
It's only one now.
I don't understand the plan.
Yeah.
And to double down on having Chris Koklanes as your head coach, I just feel like is a bad look. But we're going to talk about why that is. We're also going to talk about why Kev is trying so hard to be good. And we're going to talk about what happened in Friday's press conference with Coach Chris Koklanes when we come back after the break. Let us pay some bills. Please stick around, and we'll talk to y'all in the second half. Still only one lead. I don't understand the plan. And to double down.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair, the world's lightest wheelchair, is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
What's up, y'all? We are back from break. And we are ready to get into this Dallas Wing situation. So first, I'm going to tell y'all what happened with the clip that got Kev in trouble. Well, you can tell your side, but I'll talk about the clip. So there was a clip that was posted on TikTok from the last time Kev was a guest on our show. Mm-hmm. And it was a clip that I thought was just pretty simple. And he said, "Hey, I don't think the Wings trust their team." And I said,
trust their coach.
Or trust their coach. Yeah. It was like, "I don't think the Wings trust their coach." And I was like, "You don't think they trust their coach?" And he goes on to talk about something that he saw at practice where there was, like, he wasn't sneaking around. He wasn't out there with, like, a magnifying glass, like, hanging down through the ceiling, sneaking and getting footage. This was something where all the media was present. Mm-hmm. So the team and the coaches knew that the media was present. And he basically talked about some body language issues, some demeanor issues that suggested that Nola might have had a better rapport with the members of the Dallas Wings than Coach Chris did. Mm-hmm. And after the game, after that clip was posted, which it did numbers, by the way. It did numbers. But the game after that game, we walk out to where a lot of the media does their stand-ups on the court. And I hear the head of PR for the Wings say to Kev, "Hey, Kev, can I talk to you for a second?" She wasn't talking to me. So I just kept walking, but I'm like looking over my shoulder to see if I can like read lips or see some body language to suggest like what was going on. So how much trouble did you get in?
It was a little slap on the wrist because basically they were saying that they don't want the narrative to be that Nola is doing everything and Coach doesn't do anything. And, you know, they saw the comments. Mm-hmm. As we were talking, the comments were steady going. Like,
oh, they're still going on my post. I know you took yours down.
I took mine down. So I told him, I said, well, you know, maybe I should have worded it better. But, you know, if you think it's clickbait, I'll take it down. She was like, no, you don't have to. I said, no, I don't want no issues with y'all. I'll take it down. But I said, just understand that I'm still going to tell the truth how I feel it. And it was like, yeah, that's cool. So I was like, hey.
I'm going to say this. I don't think it was clickbait at all. I think it's one of those things that's already a sensitive topic for the fan base. Mm-hmm. And so when you post something that, you know, a lot of fans have been waiting to hear somebody talk about, and you actually have something to support it, it's no longer just like a glance that they saw on the TV broadcast or whatever. Now there's like tangible evidence to say like, okay, even behind the scenes, they're like this. I think a lot of people were waiting to get their takes off about that. And so your post and my post ended up being a central place for that to happen. But for those listening, that's why Kev is trying to be good today. But he's still going to tell us about what happened at the press conference on Friday. So what did I miss in my attempt to navigate traffic and find parking? What did I miss in that press conference?
So basically, long story short, they just asked him about, one of the media representatives asked him about DeJounte's name being, in the trade rumors, and how does it affect the locker room. So he was just basically saying, well, it is what it is. This part of sports, he kind of dismissed it, and they had this like smirk on his face when he said it is what it is, and everybody just kind of looked like, are you telling us low key that she's getting traded? Like, something.
Right.
It was just the way he said it. I wish I would have sent you the clip, but he knew something was up. And then during the game, and this is one issue that I always felt like they didn't trust him. DeJounte, there was a part in the game. DeJounte got fouled. DeJounte and Haley got fouled on when Lexi Hull took the ball and laid it up. DeJounte spent 4 back-to-back series going at it with the refs. He didn't say nothing.
Right, and that's been an issue since the beginning.
He didn't step up for her. He didn't tell her to relax. He just did nothing. And I got this on video.
Did you post it?
Nope. I got it on video. See, so, and I'm just sitting there looking like, and I'm talking to Chris, another media person. I'm just like, he's not stepping up for it at all. And it feels like he's never fought for them. Either be on their side or tell them to chill out. Don't keep letting one of your star players go up and down talking to the ref while basketball is being played. Like, do something.
Here's why I said standing behind Coach Koklanis is going to be an issue for Dallas. It's because the WNBA, as it stands right now, I know they've got plans for media rights deals and expansion teams and yada, yada, yada. As it stands right now, free agents have all the power. If you want a championship team, which there's really nothing else to play for in the WNBA besides like honor and glory, if you want a championship team, at some point you've got to be able to attract talent. And because there's an abundance of players, but like the stars are still the upper echelon, a lot of times when a really quality free agent becomes available, they have their choice of where to go practically.
All next year, all next summer.
Yes. And right now, Dallas is not an attractive destination. It doesn't have the best facilities. Now, if there are some people who just like Arike and they like Paige that much and they really want to play with them, it can be attractive from that perspective. But they don't have the best facilities. They have a good fan base, but not the best. And when I say they don't have the best facilities, I mean both in terms of game day and their practice facilities, right? So there's nothing that would say to a free agent like, I'm going to choose Dallas over Phoenix, or I definitely want to choose Dallas over Vegas or LA or wherever, right? And so then you add on top of that the fact that people are watching in real time this coach make bad decisions, not stand up for his players, somehow have a bad rapport, a bad relationship with someone like DeJounte, who's like really respected across the league, right? It's just not a bad look. I feel like there are a lot of free agents who are going to look at that and be like, do I really want to go into that? Do I really want to go into an organization that did such a weird job of putting together the roster for this year in the first place? And then they put an inexperienced coach in charge of a pieced together roster, and then that coach is, making questionable decisions, and nobody seems to be holding him accountable, and they're going to stand behind this coach. They'd rather keep this guy than a defensive player who's a defensive savant who's proven herself. And, there's a lot to question there. And right now, in terms of reputation, in terms of appeal, Paige Beckers really seems to be like carrying not just the team on her back, but the entire organization in terms of presenting it as something respectful. Like Rookie of the Month 2 months in a row, just going out there, being the most competitive, being so physical, being an all-star. Like, she is really taking this on. And I wonder how much of that is loyalty to Dallas and how much of it is just her being the competitor that she is. And with it being her rookie season, this is where that competitiveness ends up landing.
I mean, that's just who Paige is. And Paige is going to be the only thing that brings people here outside of them getting a new practice facility next year, right? So if Coach is still here, they're going to have to lean on Paige to bring people here. And then the fact that, we don't like the moves you made, but at the same time, you did free up a lot of money. New CBA coming, which means it's going to be a lot of money for a lot of people to come here, and some people just want money. And, hey, I get money and I get to play with Paige. I don't care what else. I deal with whatever else, So that, I mean, it's good timing for that. But at this point, you letting the veterans go. You trying to free up money. Go ahead and trade Enrique. I'm gonna say it again, but this time for another reason. Let her go to a playoff team. Get somebody else younger. Did the light go off behind me? Or
Mine
something?
did. It's okay.
But let her go to a playoff team and compete. She don't need to sit here and deal with this. And she's not going to re-sign anyway if coach is still here. I keep telling folks that. I told people that about Satu last year. Told people about Natasha. As soon as the season was over, Natasha was on Twitter. I'm done. I'm out. Thank you, Dallas. I'm trying to tell people now. If coach is still here, Enrique's not. She's not re-signing. I don't care what. I don't care if Paige is here. I don't care if they're getting a new, practice facility. She's not going to re-sign.
I think there are a lot of people who don't so much have a problem with her not re-signing as they do with not getting anything for her when you could. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say trade her. Just like last year when Tiara still had value, I was pounding the table. Trade Tiara. I'm seeing how this league is going with the athletic bigs that can shoot threes and step out and run. She's kind of falling out of that. But last year, she was still double-double, starting center for the Wings. There's still value there. Trade her. And then you didn't trade her. You didn't trade her this year. And you got nothing for her. So
Yeah. And then it does seem like they're rebuilding more than anything anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And so
For
that reason, I agree with you. Like, I love Enrique. I love watching her play. I would miss her on the team. But you're right. If they're rebuilding anyway, then it does make sense to let Enrique go to somewhere where she can, have some postseason success.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say they're rebuilding is because I don't see Diamond Miller filling the same role as Dejanay Carrington, to put that simply. And not to knock her. They're just two different players. So it's not like, we're looking for someone to take on this role. It's like you just brought in somebody to do something different, right?
Yeah.
And then
to not argue with the coach, basically.
Pretty much. And then, it's the acquisition of the draft picks. It's the dependence on the rookies. It's really all looking like, okay, we need to bring in some young people who might be here for a while, who can seem to be a little bit more used to Coach Chris. And between their natural competitiveness and their superpowers that they bring to the table and the fact that they don't have the experience to argue with him as much, we can do something with this. Now, why they are so desperate to hold on to Coach Chris, I don't know. Y'all don't get in my comments with the craziness. I've seen it all. Y'all need to chill. Y'all are rude.
Yeah.
But why they're so desperate to hold on to him, I don't know. But it really does seem like they're like, all right, we're going to bring... Like, when he said in the press conference, I really liked Isaiah's answer, I was just like, oh, God. Oh, God. But I knew it when she said it, because what she said was essentially the same thing that he said when I asked him about T-Mac's playing time. Oh, you just got to be ready, da-da-da. Which is not an answer. I expect that answer from a player.
A rookie.
Yeah, a rookie player at that. I expect a little bit more from a coach. I expect a little bit more depth and insight from a coach. So I'm like, I knew he would like that answer, and I knew he would see that as validation and affirmation. But the same reason that he saw that as validation is why so many fans don't like him. Because it's like, one, you can say you like her answer if you had said something else. But it was clear you liked her answer because she was parroting you. And I don't know if she was parroting you on purpose or if that was just player speak. But either way, that answer he gave was inadequate. The answers he gives to so many questions are inadequate.
You know what this is?
What is it?
This is a WNBA version of Jason Garrett and the Cowboys.
Oh, Lord. Oh, don't say that.
That's what this is. As you were talking, clicked in my head. This is Jason Garrett's version of the WNBA.
I'll admit, I don't know much about the ownership of the Dallas Wings.
I mean, just say Greg Bibb and leave it at that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to dig more into him and who he is, because that's the one piece of all this that I'm not as privy on. Like I'm a little bit familiar with Kurt Miller just because like of watching women's basketball, you've heard his name a lot, so you kind of have an idea of who he is. I was about to say Shoddy. Coach Kuklanis, I was not as familiar with, but it's not like he has a really deep resume that you need to study. Yeah. But the ownership piece of this, and they do play a role in all this. I'm not as familiar with.
Yeah, because Greg Bibb was part of the problem last year. And like I said last time, Coach Trammell, she took the fall for his BS. Like, you the one drafted JC. You brought in Sevi, and you re-signed Kalani, but you traded her, right? And I was always the one that said, if you're gonna keep one of those bigs, keep Kalani, because at least Kalani would get up and down the court. She's a better outside shooter, in my opinion. Nope. You kept T, didn't trade her, didn't offer her, did nothing, and now look where we are. So it's listen, trade Enrique, let her go play. You have 4 good rookies with Zaya, JJ, Paige, Louisa. That's 4. Teams don't normally get 4 rookies.
Right.
You'd be happy if you get 2 in the WNBA.
They definitely lucked up there.
You got 4. Then you got Haley Jones, who's not going to need a max contract next year. If you decide to re-sign her, you better re-sign her. Who else? Like, I mean, you have Lee.
I feel like that's your core right there. Oh,
Yeah,
I
Lee
love
is on a 2-year deal, so you don't have to worry about her next year. So Maddie, you can re-sign Maddie. So you have a core to bring in, whoever else you want to bring in. It's just don't hold Enrique to this no more. She's been through enough is losing. Let her play somewhere where they're gonna put some real effort into her. So and Maisha could just, I love Maisha, but she could just go.
I love Maisha too, and I hate that she's had such an up and down season. And then, did we ever get an update on her ankle?
She's out tonight.
Okay.
They emailed me on the way here. She's out tonight.
I haven't even checked my email. That's rough. Is that her second or third time being injured this season?
I think second.
Okay.
For her to, earlier today it was probable, so that's a good sign because the way she turned and hit her leg, it looked bad. It looked like she was gonna be out for the season. So yeah, she'll be all right.
Okay. So what does that mean though for the Wings moving forward? Is there anything? Okay. Well, we'll ask this question in phases. 1, is there anything that the Dallas Wings can do during the remainder of this season to make themselves an attractive destination for free agents?
Let the rookies fly. Let Paige loose. Let Isaiah loose. Keep doing the 2-man game with Paige and Haley because that works and it looks great. Let JJ loose. Stop the up and down BS with the minutes. Let them play. Dejanay is no longer here to block Isaiah James' minutes. So let her play. So, because when she played consistently, she was putting up numbers. She was averaging 15 a game. When Dejanay came back, you started, Zaya played 10 minutes here, or she might play 20 here, then she played 5 the next game, her numbers dropped. Let her play.
Agreed.
And then just build chemistry with them, because that's your team next year.
They're also, there's already really some good foundations in terms of chemistry. Like, I love the pick and roll game that Lee and Paige bring to the table. And I've been torn between whether I want to see Louisa do more of that when she comes into the game, or if I like the whole Louisa for Threesa thing that's been going on and just have her, because when there is a big in the game, I prefer for them to be under the hoop. I'm not going to lie. But it's she seems to do really well on the perimeter. And it seems to kind of throw defenses off just enough to be like, okay, they have a big, but she's way over there, and it seems to work out sometimes. So, I don't know. But kind of figuring out how they're going to fit in with the game plan. I think would go a long way.
I like the bigs, but next year find a starting center.
Okay, agreed on that. So that's one thing they're looking for, and that's the next thing that I was going to ask you is okay, so if that's your core, Louisa, Lee, Paige, Isaiah, JJ, Haley, Maddie coming back, right? So that's 7 people. That's over half the roster. Yeah. So then what are they looking for, and how long do we think it's going to be before we see the Dallas Wings become a true postseason contender? Are we talking about okay, with that core, you get the right pieces, next season they're good, or are we talking about maybe 2 seasons?
Well, the goal was to be good this season, but your coach is not good. Right? So all the people that keep saying, "Oh, this was a rebuild from jump," no, it wasn't.
It was not.
It was not. They said at the press conference when they brought in Maisha, who's a champion, when they brought in Dejanay, when they brought in Nalissa and Ty Harris, Enrique wanted these people because they're win-down players.
Yes.
I don't know if they really mentioned it with Maisha, but I know Ty, Dejanay, Nalissa, they said Enrique wanted for sure. Right? So, That's one. That's a win now. You brought him in with Paige knowing Paige was going to be good. Well, with the thought of Paige was going to be a standout player. That's a win now. You kept Tierra McCowan. You paid Maisha. You overpaid Maisha to bring her here. You don't overpay Maisha if you're not trying to win with her right now. Like, it's Enrique's contract, Maisha. That makes 0 sense. Even when Tierra was here. You're overpaid for her. You were trying to win now. Your coach is bad. I'm trying to be nice. Your coach is bad.
I'd hate to see what would happen.
All of this hype that we had. You remember the first game against Minnesota?
Yes.
First half?
Yes.
You remember that crowd?
Yes.
And how hype everybody was? The way they came out and started that game? Yeah, everybody was expecting to win this year.
I mean, look
Just-
at how
just
they were
simple as
talking
that.
like coming out of the preseason. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
obvious, and you know, I don't know how much of it was released to the public, but we had a whole media day. So I was there, Kev was there. So I think we're both speaking from that perspective and from the perspective of seeing a lot. You know, that I don't know how much of like the coverage goes out to the fans, but I remember on media day, interview after interview of them talking about this being a year, them being ready to win now, of them talking about how, you know, they spent so much time during the off season working on chemistry and that they love playing with each other and yada, yada, yada. In hindsight, not enough questions were asked about the coach.
And look, they talked about the coaching staff. Oh, we got Nola. She just won unrivaled championship. They built that whole coaching staff
I do
up.
remember them talking about Nola, but like you said, she had just come off the championship with Unrivaled, so she had a little bit of buzz. And I was just like, well, maybe this guy just doesn't have the buzz because he's coming back to the WNBA because he had done like some defensive coordinator stuff before.
Yeah,
and
he
so I was
like an assistant coach at USC when he got hired here.
yeah, but before that, he had been doing some
assistant.
assistant / coordinator work with some other WNBA teams. So I was like,
Connecticut.
well, maybe he did some great work with those teams. And I looked at it and it was like nothing significant. I'm like, well, you know, maybe he just doesn't get the spotlight because he was an assistant. Like, I was trying to rationalize it in my head because I'm like, it's my first year covering this team. I don't know who this guy is. Let me not go into this assuming that he's terrible. And then I'm watching the games and I'm just like, okay, I know I'm still learning this sport. But I feel like these lineups don't make sense. I feel like he should be calling the timeout sometimes. I feel like if we're close and it's going into the fourth quarter, maybe you should put the good players back in and not just leave the bench people out there until they look tired. It was just like so many decisions that I was just like, something about this doesn't seem right.
Enrique didn't play not a minute of the last fourth quarter. So that's something to look at too. Maybe
and
they
he
are
never had an answer.
Yeah. So maybe they are trying to find somewhere for her to go. For her sake, I hope so, right? Because I'm a fan of Enrique. I would love to keep her here, but if it's going to be like this, I don't want to see her go through another season like what she's going through. Because she stuck it out from COVID days to now. So even beyond COVID days. It's just, I don't want to see her go through no more struggle seasons.
For the players who respect Enrique. Like, I know Paige respects Enrique a lot.
I hate it for Paige, too.
And I hate for them to have to lose Enrique, especially if it's just to keep Koklanis. I hate that. But for reference, everyone listening, we still have 2 more days for WNBA teams to make moves. So August 7th is the deadline. The Wings have a game tonight. They also have a game on the 7th, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot that could happen between now and when all the moves need to be finalized.
What's today, the 5th? I think they play Friday and tonight.
Yeah.
So the 8th and tonight.
Okay. They don't play on Thursday?
They play New York twice. They New York tonight and then back in Dallas Friday.
It does make sense for them to not schedule things on the 7th. Okay, so they have the game tonight. And then the trade deadline is on the 7th. So still a lot could happen before the next time we see the Wings at home. So that's why we're kind of talking about it like, okay, yes, these moves have happened, but what does it mean? What could potentially happen next?
Free up your cap space. Get rid of Enrique and Maisha. That's even more space. Just let's start for next year. This year is done. It's been done. Just
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so
They're at what, 8-20?
I mean, technically they're still only like 6 games out, but you're not catching nobody the way you're
No.
playing. So, and
No.
then again,
The Wings are 8-21 right now.
you just got rid of somebody that averages 10 points a game, right? If you look at Dejanay numbers, Dejanay is averaging 10 points a game, 10 and a half, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. You bring in somebody that might be, she's good on defense. She's a 3-and-D from what I've seen, right?
Okay.
She's averaging 4 points a game, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
Like I said, not replacing Dejanay.
The other person that they brought in that they used to cut Tierra, she got cut as well.
Yeah, and I saw that, and that was another confusing move. So much is going on. And yeah, there's a lot that's going to happen in the world of Dallas sports between now and, what is it, October, when the CBA is supposed to happen. Because I'm saying whatever happens with the WNBA, CBA is going to mean a lot for the Dallas Wings. What? Did something just happen?
No, I'm looking at the starting lineup that they just sent.
Oh, God. Hold on. I'm about to pull it up, too, because your face, I just want to have an authentic
It's just
reaction because I just saw your face.
Maybe it's just the positions. They don't know which position to put them in, and they just kind of just wrote them down in random order. But if Enrique is playing small forward, that's going to be a problem.
Hold on.
So
I might not have got it. They don't send me stuff sometimes. Okay, you read it. I don't see it.
JJ, point guard, Paige, shooting guard, Enrique is now taking on the spot Dejanay was playing, small forward.
Okay.
Haley Jones, power forward, Louisa, center. I'm good with everything else outside. You need to switch Enrique and Paige. But really, Paige is not a small forward either. I'll just say switch them just because of height.
I am going to reserve comment until I see what actually happens on the court. Which, by the way, for anyone listening, that game is happening right after this broadcast ends. The Dallas Wings at 6 p.m. are going to be facing the New York Liberty. This is an away game for them, so I won't be there tonight, but you can watch it on KFAA, and I believe NBA TV is also supposed to be showing the game. So that brings us to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for a great conversation, despite some things not going as planned today. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, guys, when I go live, we are going to talk about what happened today during the joint practice between the Cowboys and the Rams. And I have some news about Shannon Sharpe because his legal troubles, surprise, surprise, are not over. So for people who've been following that story, you are definitely going to want to tune in. So
Come on, Skill. What I do now, Skill?
on that note, thank you for watching another episode of Bitches Love Sports. I'm your host, Jazz Monet, here with K-Lew of Dope Content, and we're out.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community